What's up, guys? Good, I guess, good afternoon. Today is Saturday, um, February 22, and it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I just want to, talk a little bit about, um, the housing market, the real estate market, and, the way, where I see it's going as far as, being aligned with the economy and, um, you know, with, uh, with inflation and whatnot, and just knowing a little bit about the history of the market, the housing market, and and uh, and stocks and all that jazz. Okay, so um the the housing market crashed in 2008 when Obama was in the administration, right? Happened due to um home home mortgages, home loans, right? Home loan the market for home loan securities crashed, right? The company that was responsible for the crash was the Lehman Brothers. So it took down the whole market. It didn't just take down um the housing market. It just took down the whole market. That's how crazy big it was. So yeah, so home prices went down, right? Um, but you have to look at everything before that, before that happened. The reason why it crashed. If you remember anything about about 2008, anything prior to 2008, if you guys remember, like all these homes were being built like crazy. Everyone was getting home loans, right? You will know um, that supply and demand was a lot different back then than what it is right now, right? So after 2008 market crash, they reconstructed um, the lending policies to where they fixed that problem, right? Of just giving everyone loans. Um, so like the home first home buyer programs and what you call it, the so those programs were are made it more difficult for people to just get home loans, right? They have to verify and check all their financial information, versus just a lot of managers underwriting people to get home loans, right? I mean, people still do it nowadays, but they go tougher on like just anybody, right? You gotta you know show the money. But anyway, you can't just do paperwork, you know what I mean, and make it happen, and then have someone just write it out. I mean, people will still write it out, but it's just a lot tougher, right? Like um, the banks will get shut down, type of stuff, if they you know do fraud in that area. On top of that, these companies that were developers and they couldn't get their loans to build, right? So then that's where does it supply and demand um, is the issue, right? There's no more new homes being built, right? That's why I think Kamala Harris in her campaign, she's trying to run a campaign based on building more homes and providing uh, plans to for home buyers, right? Well, I mean, which was a good idea, but it didn't make still didn't make sense. You know what I mean? To like the financial people, because like it didn't make sense of how money was Yeah, so her plan didn't make sense because uh, of how where the money was gonna come from as far as government spending goes, and then also like the way it was allocated. Right, we have like over 600 million people in the United States. Right, well, people, but as far as head hold, uh, you know, head holds and people that able to buy homes. Right. So she was trying to offer like additional $5,000 or whatever for home buyer programs, right? To put down payment, right? Like where was the money come from? Like and then like, and then Board proposed that, more homes gonna be built. It's just like you have to create money, right? Unless you borrow subsidized money from the government, which is it's like yeah, we already $36 trillion in national debt. Like, come on, dude. So going back to uh homes, right? Buying, selling homes, right? So yeah, man. So with that being said, I think like it's if you're waiting for a moment to buy a house, and you're waiting for some sort of like uh market crash so you can get home rates or home prices to be low again. Um, unless the market deflate in a way where like the supply and demand matters as far as the amount of homes that's vacant, you're not going to see a decrease in home prices, right? So your best bet is just to buy a house if you're going to buy a house. You know what I mean? Yeah. And don't wait, right? So the way I know the way the market works is like the market isn't gonna crash in the way that you think it's gonna crash. You know what I mean? Like, um, during the whole Biden administration, you know what I mean? That's the time it should have crashed, right? But the Feds work really hard, Federal Reserve, right? Work really hard to, what do you call that? To, lessen the crash, right? Of the market, right? So they were trying to, what do you call it? Kind of like, kind of settle down inflation, soft landing. That's what they call it, soft landing inflation. And then they were also like, they worked really, really hard, like to not do anything to disrupt inflation. Yeah. So you're planning to buy a house. Um, this is my opinion. This is my suggestion. And you're planning to, like waiting on something, some miracle to happen for home prices to go lower. Like I said, supply and demand doesn't dictate that home prices will go lower, but your best bet is, since interest rates are still high, is to buy a home anyways, right? And then when the interest rate goes down, you have an opportunity to refinance. You know what I mean? Um, where your benefits are the equity. So you know what I mean. Like, so you thinking, whether it's a good time to buy, but just don't think about it too much. If you have the money, just buy. You know what I mean? Because regardless, you're gonna gain in equity somehow.